I'm playing Minecraft every day for a year. This is day 10. If you've been following along for a while now, then you'll know that every Friday I stream on Twitch. Now last week I tried to do a minimal setup so I'd have nice clean footage saved for making videos, but I wasn't happy with the feel of the live video. So this week I've added a simple overlay and my camera back in. But if we do a quick zoom, the only distraction is my freaky face. Anyway, I started the day by doing a bit of fishing and then doing some regular chores around the base, including chopping down trees and trading with the Fletchers. Now I did actually have a goal for this stream, as I had spent the week doing lots of trading and upgrading my gear to ensure the success of another journey into the end. Today, I was going once again to try and find a ship in an end city and get my own elytra. The last thing I would need is a nicely enchanted diamond sword, and since I had not yet unlocked the diamond sword trade on my weaponsmith, I needed to get some iron for the sole purpose of trading with the weaponsmith. After a little mining and trading, I did some quick enchanting and got a pretty sweet sword for quickly dealing with the troublesome shulkers and endermen. Speaking of, I now made my way back to the end via the stronghold. First I needed some ender pearls for travelling through the portal to the main end area, so I killed a few endermen for some, and then headed on through. After a decent amount of bridging, I made my way to my first end city, and while there was no elytra here, I had a chance to practice dealing with shulkers, and there was a little bit of treasure at the top. I made my way to the next city, and this one had a flying ship with an elytra. I just needed to make my way up to it. I decided the best way would be to go up through the city, and then bridge across the short gap to reach the ship. Once I had the elytra, I continued clearing through the city before using the rockets I had brought with me to quickly get back to the portal, and then through the main portal back to the overworld. Funnily enough, because I had died in the void just after beating the dragon, this was the first time that I went through the portal, and so the credit scene rolled before me. Back in the overworld, one of the people in stream chat mentioned that I should really have an iron farm, because I have to keep ducking underground to mine for iron. It was a very good idea, so I decided to build a simple design that I know of. To do this, I would need some fireproof netherwood. So I headed into the nether and gathered a bit of warped wood, and I totally didn't fall in the lava if anyone asks. I placed 5 extra beds down in the village to encourage the breeding of the new villagers that I would need for the farm, and after gathering a few more things together, I went up on the hill to tear down the house up there and make space for the new farm. I built upwards a bit so that the platform I was building on would be the only place that iron golems could spawn, and then I built a fence around the outside of the platform, placed some gates made out of the warped wood in the middle, and placed a lava source in between them. With the fence gates open, the iron golems will be able to move through and their heads will burn in the lava. Because glass is not spawnable, I built a box just above the lava which will house the villagers. Lastly, I placed a water source in each of the corners, as the water flows will always push towards the centre of the platform. I built a dirt staircase up to the glass box, and the next night I checked the new beds I had placed down, and they all had villagers in them, so I broke the beds down and moved them up to the glass box. This essentially lures the villagers up to the beds because they want to sleep in a bed at night, and no others were available. It took a little bit, but I was able to lure all 5 villagers up within a short amount of time. With the villagers up in their box, I tore down the dirt staircase, and now they have formed a separate village of their own, and they will try to spawn in 1 iron golem for protection. Due to the farm's design, the iron golems will always spawn up on the platform, and the water pushes them into the lava. With the farm now working, I set up some hoppers underneath to collect any iron that is produced. With the lovely new, if not a little slow, iron farm running, I spent a little bit of time trying to get the Unbreaking 3 enchanted book as a trade on a librarian villager so I could beef up some of my gear. Most importantly, my brand spanking new elytra. It didn't take too long before I got it, so I decided to take my elytra out for a little spin. I flew for a little while in one direction to see what I could find. There wasn't anything too notable, just some interesting landscapes. I made sure to grab some mushrooms from the giant mushrooms I found on my trip before turning around and heading home. And that's it. A very busy day for me. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below, and thanks for watching. Hit like and subscribe to help my channel grow.